This is News Hour on Trust TV. My name is Abdurrahman Umar. Many thanks for joining. And compliments of the season to all Nigerians. Now, President Bola Tinubu says his administration will in 2024 work diligently to make sure every Nigerian feels the impact of his government. The president is particular about the economic aspirations and material well-being of the poor, the most vulnerable and working people, which he promises will not be neglected. The President Tinubu made the pledges early on Monday morning in a nationwide broadcast to usher in the new year. Kente Amadou takes a clinical look at the speech in this report.
I hear the groans of Nigerians who work hard every day to provide for themselves and their families.
There is nothing new about the President's New Year broadcast. He is acknowledging, as he has done many times in 2023, that the twin decisions to remove fuel subsidy and to regulate the foreign exchange system has brought some discomfort to individuals, families, and businesses. But he is pleading with Nigerians to use the current circumstances to strengthen their resolve to work better for the good of the nation.
Dear compatriots, take this from me. The time may be rough and tough. However, our spirit must remain unbowed because tough times never last. We are made for this period, never to flinch, never to falter. The socio-economic challenges of today should energize and rekindle our love and faith in the promise of Nigeria.
President Tinubu says he is aware that for some time now, conversations and debates have centered on the rising cost of living, high inflation, which is now above 28%, and the unacceptable high underemployment rate. But he says the last 7 months of 2023 were used to lay the groundwork of his administration's economic recovery plans, and government is now poised to accelerate the pace of service delivery across sectors. Areas of focus include delivery of reliable supply of electricity to homes and businesses under the Presidential Power Initiative and the cultivation of 500,000 hectares of farmlands across the country to grow maize, rice, wheat, millet, and other stable crops.
To ensure constant food supply, security, and affordability, we will step up our plan to cultivate 500,000 hectares of farmland across the country to grow maize, rice, wheat, millet, and other staple crops. We launched the dry season farming with 120,000 of land in Jigawa State last November under our National Wheat Development Program.
Meanwhile, the president is particular about operating a more efficient tax system to increase government revenue.
In this new year, we will race against time to ensure all the fiscal and tax policies reforms we need to put in place are codified and simplified to ensure the business environment does not destroy value. On every foreign trip I have embarked on,
just one paragraph is dedicated to security, with the president insisting that the situation has improved. In the same breath, the president admits that security forces have silently worked to free captives from abductors, which tallies with what is evident to all, that the administration has not been able to contain insecurity in the country. Though the president's New Year message is rich with inspirational quotes, it still falls far short of providing specific solutions that will inspire the people at their lowest ebb. From the federal capital, Kende Amadou, Trust TV News.
Now, President Bola Tinubu's 2024 New Year broadcast has elicited mixed reactions from Nigerians, corresponding to the promises made amidst economic crisis and a soaring cost of living. The president, in his address, has vowed to address and enhance the nation's economy. Ibrahim Ismail samples the public's reaction to the president's message.
As Nigerians grapple with the daunting challenges highlighted in the 2024 New Year presidential address, the content appears sadly familiar to many.
I hear the groans of Nigerians.
The nation is caught in a web of economic turmoil marked by the inflation and a high cost of living, amplifying the complexity of daily life. For the youth, the foremost concern remains the staggering rate of unemployment.
So many youths are jobless. They need to come out and then plan a very good scheme that will put people uplift Nigerian youths out of poverty.
I want the government to empower, to create a skill acquisition, like empower the youth, give them the finances, a little money to start a business, so that to enable them stand on their own. That one would be good.
The National Bureau of Statistics reveals that the unemployment rate in the second quarter of 2023 stood at 4.2%, indicating a 0.1% increase from the preceding quarter. This statistic underscores the struggles faced by many Nigerian graduates who find themselves without employment opportunities.
Employ people there, all those graduates, that they should have work. They should have what doing, so that they will not be uselessing themselves.
What Nigeria needed more is improving the standard of living. If there is any policy that will help to improve the standard of living, I think that would be better. Taking for instance, the cost of living in Abuja is very high, like the house rent. So most people live in the villages just like this. Like Nigeria is more focused on importations. And if we focus more on like maybe our resources, which I'm kind of a little bit happy about the refineries that are going on, because these are our resources being taken out of the country to refine, which is taking employment out of the country to giving it to other people. So if we focus on production, I think it will improve employment opportunity in the country.
While President Tinubu's promise to address unemployment and ensure macroeconomic stability in the coming year offers a glimmer of hope, the ultimate fulfillment of these assurances remains uncertain. As the nation awaits tangible actions, the plight of the unemployed echoes as a pressing concern for the populace. Only time will reveal the extent to which these promises translate into positive change for the Nigerians. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
As the world ushers in the new year, Nigerians have begun reeling out their expectations for 2024. Trust TV's Segiri Ibrahim visits Magic Land in Abuja to capture the mood of the season.
The year 2023 has come and gone, but one thing to note, it was a mixed bag of experiences for Nigeria and Nigerians. However, the new year 2024 to many signifies a fresh start, a time to do things differently from the previous year. But what are the expectations of Nigerians as they celebrate the new year?
I pray that this 2024 that we are entered already, that God should make, as He put a smile on our face, and again let the government be right again for us, because we need everything that has been happening. Let it subside and let us smile, walk free around, at least go somewhere at morning and come back at night in peace.
I pray to Almighty God, 2024 that I'm here, I want it to be better for me. I want Nigeria to be better.
My expectations are just to play and have fun. Like, this place is massive, the crowd is massive, everybody wants to have fun. See over there, we have Merry Christmas, we have the pendulum, we have all different kinds of stuff. I think the government should encourage this, because this is helping Nigerians.
I'm expecting a lot. In fact, today I even start with credit alert, so that sure is going to be a good year for me, a great one.
The Naira redesign policy, the cash crunch, the removal of fuel subsidy, the floating of the Naira and ever-increasing exchange rate, among others, are some of the policies of the government which characterize the year 2023.
I want our Nigerian government to put things in place. They said that we will have the fuel scarcity issue and the additional money that is added to fuel, that they should try and do something about it. Also, because the transportation is very, very difficult for us, and without the means of the transportation, we cannot progress. So I just hope that government should do something about it.
I want things to turn around. Things should be good. Let fuel come down, because things are more expensive and we don't like the way things are going. But we have children growing up, coming up now. So we don't want things to be like the way it is before.
I'm hoping that this year, that's year 2024, will be a greater year for us in Nigeria. Things are really, really hard, and we are hoping that government will do something about the economy, and also that we can all, live happily and all of that.
As Nigerians hope for the best in the new year, President Bola Tinubu in his New Year message pledged his administration's commitment to ensure that Nigerians has an enabling environment to not only strive but also thrive. From the Magic Land in Abuja, Sagir Ibrahim reporting for Trust TV.
In the meantime, as Nigerians join the rest of the world to celebrate the New Year, some residents of Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital, have expressed gratitude to God for making them see the beginning of the year 2024. According to them, despite the economic hardship experienced in the preceding year, they are hopeful that the new year will usher in a better life for them. Friday, Ebumboy Peter reports.
Around the city center, residents were pictured in fun places, making memories with family and friends in the spirit of the New Year celebration. While appreciating God for keeping alive to witness the New Year, they however advise other residents to thank God for their lives and keep hope alive.
I just want to appreciate God for what He has done for our lives. For us to see this bright new day is a thing of joy. So many they have passed on, but the Lord kept us because of His grace to see this bright day. At least we pray God for His favor, His grace, long life, good health, and prosperity. Just thank God for your life. As long as there is life, there is hope. This year is a better year for all of us.
So I'm very happy to see this year. Me and my family, my loved ones, we are very, very happy to see the year, and we are thanking God for it. I just wish them a successful, blissful, amazing, surprise, expansion New Year.
New Year is important because it's the time everybody stay together. Children will go outside and take fun. It's something make us to happy. I thank God and I happy well as God keep me alive. Make me see today, 1st of January.
Vendors and service providers said patronage was better this year, New Year, when compared to previous years, despite the hike in fuel prices.
It's going well. You can see that we have crowd, and there were a lot of customers coming in to buy food and other stuff, and we're happy they are coming. Good. This year is a bit better compared to last year.
From the other festive periods, this one is good because you can see people are well dressed, they are taking pictures, in fact selfie, they are doing well. So this particular festive period is splendid. It's a way forward because in any step you take, you have to celebrate, you understand? So celebration means a way forward for the entire people of Bayelsa State. In as much as we are in a bad situation, and I'm talking about the economy, but what we are seeing is good.
A visit to some eateries in the Yenagoa metropolis revealed that an appreciable level of patronage as children and adults took advantage of their facilities to celebrate the New Year, despite the economic situation in the country. From Yenagoa, Friday, Ebumboy Peter. Trust TV News, Yenagoa.
President Bola Tinubu has signed the 2024 budget into law at the State House, Abuja. President Tinubu appended his signature to the 28.78 trillion naira budget shortly after he arrived his office from the airport at exactly 2 p.m. The brief budget signing ceremony was witnessed by senior government officials, the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas. Recall that the Senate had passed the 2024 appropriation into law on Saturday, increasing the size of the budget proposed by President Bola Tinubu from 27.5 trillion naira to 28.7 trillion naira.
Today we have a budget of 28.7 trillion naira, with an increase of 1.2 trillion naira over the proposal that I submitted. I thank the National Assembly for this prompt review, adjustment, and what they deem necessary. This is an evidence and a great testament to the excellent relationship between the executive and the legislature. We should keep it up. In my address then, I remarked that the budget is a budget of renewed hope. It's anchored on reducing the deficit and increasing capital expenditure.
Now joining us via Zoom from the United Kingdom to discuss the 2024 budget is Vice President Nigerian Irish Business Association, Ali Audu. Mr. Ali, always a pleasure to have you join us on News Hour. Happy New Year as well. Now, taking a look at the 2024 budget, one will say it is the Nigeria's biggest budget in history. What are your takeaways from the appropriations?
Thank you very much. Given the budget, there has been an overall increment in revenue from last year. We have 18.3 trillion against 11 trillion from last year. And that is the aggregate revenue. In terms of aggregate expenditure too, it has increased from 24 trillion of last year to 27 trillion of this year. So I will say I'm quite impressed by the increment in the revenue, but also our cost of servicing debt is going higher, meaning we are borrowing, which is not good. At this stage, we should be looking at spending more on capital expenditure for development, because this is the only way you create jobs. You support the economy. You bring in money into the economy. And so I believe that is where we should be heading. We should be heading to having more capital expenditure to create jobs, especially in the face of economic hardship, rather than having a higher recurrent expenditure. But on the aggregate, I believe is an ambitious budget, and we're heading towards the direction, even though we can do better. Thank you very much.
Now, Ms. Ali, you made mention of debt servicing is going higher, as well as capital expenditure. What are the consequences of our current spending patterns?
Well, it means that if we are spending high to service debt, that means I think currently we are spending about 8.2 trillion thereabouts, which is almost 1/3 of the budget, meaning we are spending money that we are supposed to spend to create jobs in capital expenditures. We are using it to service debt. This is not good. It's an indication that we need to reduce borrowing. We need to reduce borrowing and look for ways to generate income. Borrowing is not helping us, because once you borrow, you are going to pay interest to pay back that loan. And instead of using the money you use for interest, you can use it on capital expenditures and other important expenditures like infrastructural development, which is what is critical for the country right now. So it indicates that we need to reduce borrowing. and look inward. Let's look inward into generating revenue. Let's look inward into tapping various sectors of the economy, stimulating various sectors of the economy, like solid minerals and other strong industries in the economy. Let's look at Ajaokuta Steel. It's lying fallow, and efforts are being done to revive the industry. This will create jobs. So we should look more to the economy rather than looking outwards and borrowing. Thank you very much.
Now, to critically take a look at the global economic outlook, do you think this budget will be financed adequately to bring about the needed economic growth in the country?
Well, it's a budget. Budget means is, we're anticipating this is what we're going to do. Now, given the way things are going, we have reduced subsidy, or should I say subsidy has been taken off, and we are looking into stimulating local production of fuel, meaning that we're not going to be importing more. I think this would help the economy in the long run, especially in reducing the cost of fuel. And also, I believe once the local refineries start production, Dangote refinery, for example, and the modular refineries, this in the long run will reduce the cost of fuel. And remember, we have one of the highest inflation in over 20 years at 28%. This is cost push inflation as a result of the fuel increment. So with stimulation of local production, I believe in the long run, this would reduce the cost of fuel and will reduce the cost of inflation. And as well, the revenue has gone up from 2023 till now. We are generating more revenue. So I believe all indications are positive that this year's budget will go a long way to reviving the economy.
Now,
but as I said before, money to be done on
now we have been talking to
projects.
Aliyu Audu, the Vice President, Nigerian Irish Business Association. Thank you once again for joining, and Happy New Year once again.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Now, moving on. Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang has announced a week of mourning following the Christmas Eve attacks in Bokos, Mangu and Barikiladi local government areas. Flags will fly at half-mast and citizens are encouraged to engage in intense prayers for divine intervention against the violence. Governor Mutfwang, in a statewide broadcast, characterized the attacks as premeditated criminal act and rejected the farmer Heather Clash's narrative, instead labeling them as genocide. He expressed a confidence in the resilience of Plateau citizens and looked forward to 2024 bringing hope and opportunities.
As a mark of honor for the memory of the deceased, I wish to declare a week of mourning from January 1st to January 8th, 2024. During this period of mourning, flags will fly at half-mast. I urge all citizens to use these days for intense prayers to seek the intervention of the Almighty God in defending our territories and against wicked men that have risen against us. I wish to plead with our Muslim clerics to dedicate Friday, January 5, 2024, and our Christian clergy to use Sunday, January 7, 2024, as special prayer days for lasting peace to return to the Plateau. Monday, January 8, 2024, will be observed as our official state day of mourning. It is gratifying that despite these onslaughts, our spirits are not broken. Our resolve to defend our land and prosper therein has remained unshakable. I'm therefore confident that 2024 will reveal our inner strength and resilience in the face of these tribulations.
Now, President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Archbishop Daniel Oko, has called on Nigerians to pray against killings in the country, especially the recent incident in Plateau State. Oko made the call in his New Year message issued on Monday. The CAN boss, who expressed displeasure over the incident, urged Nigerians to embrace the diversity of the nation and allow it to be the bedrock upon which a stronger and more harmonious Nigeria is built. Oko maintained that as one united people, Nigerians are capable of creating a country where peace, justice, and prosperity are not just ideals but realities for all. While praying for the transformative era that has begun to continue unfolding for the country in the year 2024, the CAN leader enjoined Nigerians to march forward with hope and determination to succeed despite the prevailing economic situation in the country. In the meantime, in response to the recent wave of violence in communities within Bokos and Bariki-Ladi local government areas, the Nigerian police force has initiated the deployment of officers to address the alarming situation. The affected areas have witnessed a series of attacks by gunmen, resulting in the tragic loss of more than 190 lives and extensive property damage. Notably, Inspector General of Police Kayode Ebetekun on Friday issued a directive for the commencement of special operations aimed at curbing the current killings and attacks in the villages of Bokos and Bariki-Ladi local government areas. Before their deployment, Assistant Inspector General of Police Haladu Aliyu addressed the officers, urging them to display resilience and adopt an offensive stance against the criminals responsible for the violence in various parts of the state. AIG Haladu Aliyu emphasized that the ongoing crisis has no ethno-religious correlation. He therefore urged the officers to avoid any form of segregation during the operation, highlighting the importance of a unified approach to maintaining peace and order.
And IG, on its own, has mandated me to be on ground to ensure that task is done, that the aim of this operation is achieved. And as he promised, he has brought the operational asset. See all over it. He has promised that he will bring it, and he has done it. And the men you saw, I addressed the men that are here. Some are doing. We have started deployment already. As at last night, we deployed some men to that place. And now we are deploying more. In the evening, we are deploying more. We must cover, dominate every area, and even beyond, because we may be concentrating in one local government, and then while they strike here, we are going to spread our tentacle, the whole of Plateau State. It must end. It's a promise. We must fight this fight.
In another development, the Kaduna State Police Command says its operatives have arrested 5 suspected cattle rustlers and recovered 4 cows. The State Police Public Relations Officer ASP Mansur Hassan disclosed this on Monday in Kaduna. He said the suspects were arrested in Tafa Town in Kagaruko local government area of the state. Hassan, who noted that the suspects were in possession of 4 suspected stolen cows loaded in a vehicle, added that after investigation, the principal suspect confessed that a farm manager in Sanunu town gave him the cattle to rear. The PPRO said the suspects are all in police custody for further investigation and will be charged to court upon the completion of investigation. He said that the cows have been handed over to their owner. Similarly, the Kaduna State Police Command says its operatives have arrested 3 car snatchers and recovered stolen vehicles in the state. The command's police public relations officer ISP Mansur Hassan confirmed the arrest in a statement issued on Monday in Kaduna. Hassan said operatives attached to Zaria City Divisional Headquarters had on December 23rd, 2023 acted on credible information leading to the arrest of the suspects at Aguro Tudunwada, Zaria. The PPRO noted one of the suspects, 28-year-old Hayin Baki Abedungwari, was in possession of a stolen red Toyota Corolla with registration number Kanu GW 188TT. According to Hassan, the suspect was a dismissed soldier known for car snatching, theft, and other felonious vices in Benin, Kaduna, and Zaria. The Kaduna police spokesperson said the suspect claimed to have bought the said van from one Ibrahim with an unknown surname. He explained that all the 3 cases were undergoing discreet investigation and the suspect accomplices were being trailed for a possible arrest. Now we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. Opportunities of 2023 as they look to the new year with hope. Details of that and more after the break. Please stay with us.
Should I keep quiet? And then we kept saying, can't we teach these people basic business, not hustling? Teach our people entrepreneurship, not hustling. Go to China, Guangzhou, different districts. They can turn fair. Am I saying what you don't know?
So this about this thing.
Yeah, but this time around we are talking about appointment of ministers, where there is an express provision in the constitution as regards that.
Let's come to appointment. You know, it is the status of FCT that the constitution has made is too complicated for people to understand.
However, if you are to go backwards and do a kind of audit, you will be shocked to find that the resources so far expended on the SDGs far outstrips the achievements face to face.
Most of the time when you are involved, it's difficult for you to draw back and have a holistic view, because what? Sentiment would always come to play, because all of us would definitely, I had, like I told you yesterday, I was 100% convinced that you cannot say you are qualified without bringing any document.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is the News Hour on Trust TV, and here is a recap of some of our major stories. President Tinubu signs 28.7 trillion naira 2024 budget. And despite somber economic mood, Nigerians welcome New Year with renewed optimism. Now to more stories. The Anambra State Police Command says it has so far killed 3 members of a gang that attacked and killed 2 police officers at Uga Roundabout in Agota, local government area of Anambra State last Thursday. The State Commissioner of Police Aderemi Adewi, who disclosed this on Monday, said the gang members were killed during a raid on their camp in Oboji, Orumba South local government area on Sunday night after a manhunt was launched on them based on intelligence gathering. The CP added that the hoodlums, after the Thursday attack, also launched another attack in the area on Saturday. but were dislodged by security officers who also rescued a 51-year-old kidnapped victim in the process. He said a Luxus jeep and other items, including 4 improvised explosive devices, 2 pump actions, and 16 live cartridges, were recovered from the hoodlums. Adeoye further restated the determination of the command to ensure security in the state. Now, as stakeholders at the just concluded Katsina Dialogue Forum have agreed to fight illicit drugs traffickers and their collaborators as part of efforts to defeat banditry and other criminalities. This was part of the resolutions reached at the first edition of the annual dialogue organized by Katsina Consultative Forum with a theme, Menace of Drug Abuse Among Youth, held in Katsina. Abdullahi Ahmadi now completes the story.
There is a growing concern in Katsina following the recent ranking which placed the state as the second in drugs and substance abuse in the northwest region after Kaduna State recently. This is in addition to increasing involvement of women and children in illicit drugs consumption and trafficking, which is alien to residents in recent times, which further compounded the problems. Even recently, the National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency in Katsina claimed its operatives have seized 563.5541 kilograms of drugs, in addition to 450.963 kilograms of cannabis sativa from 119 arrested people from January to December 2023. These are only the reported seizures and arrests made.
Out of this total number of people that we arrested, of course they cut across traffickers, people that traffic the drugs from so many places into Katsina. And we also have dealers. Dealers, especially in areas where we are having these banditry issues, because we believe it's one of the things that's accelerating the issue there.
These frightening figures are not healthy to the socio-economic well-being of the people, hence the dialogue by the Katsina State Consultative Forum to suggest a holistic approach in addressing the menace.
Substance abuse, especially among youth, is a catastrophe affecting all spheres of life, from health, education, economy, to psychosocial well-being. In addition, it leads to crimes and other social vices.
Provide education, employment, and social support. Collaborate on prevention, treatment, and reintegration strategies for those battling addiction. This is not a challenge one person or group can tackle alone. We all have a role in curbing drug addiction. Let us stand together for the sake of our youth and prosperity of our state.
Government and other stakeholders at the forum give assurances that they will do all it takes within the available resources to address the excesses of drugs peddlers, calling on all residents to expose them to have a better Katsina State. Katsina State has been battling with banditry and other criminal elements fueled by drugs and substance abuse over the last 1 decade. Abdullahi Ahmadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Now, ahead of the November 16 governorship election in Ondo State, Governor Loki Adetua says the contest should not be an avenue to settle political scores. The governor stated this on Monday in his New Year broadcast to the people of the state, saying the warning became imperative because political activities will gain prominence this year. He cautioned political players to issue violent conduct that could threaten the peace and tranquility of Ondo ahead of the governorship election. Governor Adetua also called on the people of the state to intensify prayers for the peace and prosperity of the state. He also used the broadcast to eulogize his former boss and predecessor, Rotimi Akeredolu, who died of complications from protracted prostate cancer on December 27th. The governor promised to make workers' welfare as a top priority, while also focusing on human capital development, environmental sustainability, rural development, and completion of ongoing infrastructure projects. In the meantime, Rivers State Governor Simeon Fubara says those fighting him wanted to take away the Red Bureau, which signifies the governor's signatory authority as the chief executive of the state, from him. Governor Fubara, who spoke at the crossover church service at St. Paul's Akivekori Parish at Opobo in Opobo Nkoro local government area, said he is not pretentious about his commitment to providing quality leadership, even though those fighting his administration want to dampen the spirit of Rivers people and forcefully truncate the pace of development. He therefore encouraged Rivers people not to be disheartened over the ongoing crisis, insisting that nothing will stop him from steering the affairs of the state successfully. Governor Fubara emphasized that nothing will stop his administration from getting to its destination because its foundation is laid solidly in God, who alone will give him the grace to complete the process of building the state.
I want to urge every one of us here, don't be frightened. What they want is this red Bible. It's still with me. They have failed. We are the winner because we are still signing the red Bible. And so long as we are signing the red Bible, development will continue in Rivers State. 2024, we witness a height, unprecedented height in our state. The only thing we are asking from every one of you is your support, is your prayers. Also believe in every decision that we take.
Now, in the dawn of 2024, the wife of Delta State Governor Tobore Oborewere has emphasized the importance of raising children with the fear of the Almighty during her visit to see the first baby born in the state in the new year. Little Destiny Onoa entered the world 5 minutes into the new year at Asaba Specialist Hospital. Oborewere prayed for the baby's protection and advised mothers, who in this case are both teachers, to dedicate themselves to nurturing their children.
Baby Destiny, on behalf of Delta State and as the mother of Delta State, I'm here today to congratulate you into the world as the first baby of the year. As you have come to this world, you shall be a blessing to your family in the mighty name of Jesus. And all that concerns you shall be speedily in the mighty name of Jesus. You will grow and shine.
So responding to treatment because delivery was through the cesarean section. So what Her Excellency has come to do today is a very laudable activity. It's something that should be commended because she has come today as the mother of the state to celebrate the birth of the baby who was born, the first baby born in the year 2024. So congratulate the parents, to give them something that will help them to care for the child.
Just before the new year set in, residents of Imo State reflected on the 2023, thereby sharing their sentiments about the goals they set and the challenges they faced. Trust TV's Ajibade Press brings us a report with diverse experiences of the residents as they bid farewell to 2023 and usher in the new year.
In response to the question about whether they were able to achieve most of the goals they set for the year 2023, none of the residents interviewed reported achieving their objectives to an appreciable level.
2023 has been quite a challenging year, but in all, we come out stronger. Yes, all the goals that I set to achieve put a whole lot of pressure on myself. And then on the second half, I just decided to relax and take it one step at a time.
Year 2023 is really very hard on me. I'm very horrible, seriously. Because why I said is horrible is because at first all my goals and everything I listed to achieve in year 2023, I didn't meet everything up. To the glory of God, I want to thank God that for me, it's a very successful year for me because some of the goals I set with the grace of God, I was able to meet some of them. And you know, there is a change in government in this year 2023, which really affected a lot of things.
As they share their views on the moments that posed challenges, the residents unanimously pointed to the struggling economy as a major hindrance that prevented them from realizing their aspirations.
Obviously, yes, of course, it hit me real hard. And I know it's not just me, it hits all Nigerians real hard. But then I like to say that, you know, when it comes, when the economy hits you like that, you just need to adjust and then try to find your feet again.
Economy is one, because once you talk about economy, it's not really stable. And it's really hard on us. We are just trying to manage ourselves with the economy. Yes, economy played a lot of role in this year 2023. Like, for example, before President President Tinubu came on board, I used to buy fuel of 500 naira, and it would take me for a day. But since he came on board and the removal of fuel subsidy, if I buy fuel of 3,000, it's not even enough for me.
From the civil servants to the artisans, as well as stakeholders in various businesses, the story is the same. The year 2023 has not been that much a favorable one. Though many thank God for having seen the end of it, they hope that the next year won't be the same. They are calling on the government at all levels to look into the situation that are making things difficult for them and see way to provide lasting solution. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
You are still watching News Hour on Trust TV. The news continues after this short break. Do stay with us.
Why did you develop this reputation as somebody who is difficult to work with?
I will tell the truth. No matter whose ox is born, I will say exactly how it is.
This is why I actually sympathize with commissioners of nowadays, where a commissioner sometimes is just a picture. You find somebody, even a cleaner and the governor's wife, can interfere with their abilities.
Even the ministers, there are very many who respected me, simply because I never complained about them. I never went to ask for a favor. Never.
So none of that has happened?
Nothing.
But if it hasn't happened, do you have hope that now another government coming in?
There's no hope.
So you've given up
I've given
politics?
I've given up. It's gone, it's gone.
Retrenchment from work is the most hated thing by unions. It's a loss of job, means that is loss of life, in fact, for civil servants at that time.
Nigeria's economy, Nigeria's security, Nigeria's intelligence. This is what the materials we were handling. And I thought government will be very interested.
The reasons why you adopted federalism is not because of finesse, not because you like it. It's because of its functional utility.
Welcome back, and now to business. Banks are set to charge customers stamp duty on all foreign transactions between January 2021 to December 2023 by the end of January 2024. This is according to a directive from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Access Bank disclosed this in a recent letter to its customers. According to the bank, the electronic money transfer levy was only applicable to accounts receiving electronic deposits of 10,000 naira and above, or its equivalent. It, however, noted that starting from January 2024, the deduction will now extend to foreign currency inflows equivalent of 10,000 naira and above. Based on this new rule, stamp duty will apply to foreign transactions of $11.02 and above. The EMT levy was introduced in the Finance Act 2020, which amended the Stamp Duty Act and aims to improve government revenue from the growth of electronic funds transfer in Nigeria. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission (NUPRC) has rolled out its action plan for 2024 and near-term 2024 to 2026, highlighting regulatory actions to be implemented in furtherance of its mandate. The Commission's Chief Executive, CCA, Benga Komolafe, in a statement on Monday said the Regulatory Action Plan, RAP, was focused on predictability, future licensing rounds policy and implementation, unit cost of production, optimization, and automation. Komolafe said it also focused on business process improvements for operational efficiency, promoting ease of entry and investment retention, vacating entry barriers associated with huge asset acquisition fees, deepening transparency, accountability, and elimination of discriminatory practices. He listed all this as implementation of a carbon credit earnings framework for upstream operations, accelerating the execution of oil and gas development and production projects, as well as enforcement of drill or drop provisions of the Petroleum Industry Act. The CCE further said the RAP also targeted the implementation of the new production curtailment regime and domestic crude supply obligation, annual asset performance assessment, reviews and enforcement of domestic crude supply obligation. Komolafe indicated that the foregoing represented in broad terms the key thematic focus areas that will underpin the Commission's activities in 2004. And now away from Nigeria, 6 people, including a senior local administrator, were killed in an ambush by armed men in the Abuja region claimed by both Sudan and South Sudan, according to local officials. The Lower region experiences frequent bouts of violence where rival factions of the Dinka ethnic group, Twek Dinka from South Sudan's neighboring Warab state, and Ngok Dinka from Abe are locked in a dispute over the location of an administrative boundary. Abe Deputy Chief Administrator Nun Denk and his team came under attack along the road from Abe to Anit town when they were returning from an official visit to Romama County, where they were celebrating the New Year, government officials said. Police coach, the information minister for Abe administrative area, blamed the Sunday evening attack on armed youth from Twek County of Warab State and said the bodies had not been retrieved as of Monday morning. His counterpart in the Warab State, William Wall, said it was still early to point fingers. The incident is the latest in a region where dozens were killed in ethnic clashes in November. And now, Tunisian judicial authorities on Monday ordered that prominent journalist Zid El Hani should be detained and tried on charges of defamation days after he criticized the trade minister, his lawyer said. El Hani will have his first court hearing on January 10th on the charge of defaming others on social media, his lawyer Ayachi Hamani told reporters. Police first arrested him on Thursday after he made comments about the minister on local radio in an interview that was posted on Facebook, Tunisia's state news agency said. Tunisia's journalists union demanded his immediate release, calling his detention a violation of legal provisions governing the trial of reporters, freedom of speech and media were key gains for Tunisians after the 2011 revolution that ousted autocratic President Zain El Abidine Ben Ali and triggered the Arab Spring protest. But activists and journalists say freedom of speech has been deteriorating since President Kais Saied seized powers in 2021. Saied has said his actions were needed to save Tunisia from chaos under what he calls a corrupt elite. And now finally on sports, new Greek Super League outfit PAOK Salonika have reached an agreement with the Nigerian Football Federation to delay the arrival of William Troops Ekong to the Super Eagles camp ahead of the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. The Super Eagles will open camp for the competition in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates on Tuesday, and Troost Ekong is among the 25 players expected to resume duty. The NFF has now granted PAOK permission to feature the centre-back in a league game against Ofi on Tuesday. The defender will now report for international duty on Wednesday. NFF has also granted goalkeeper Francis Ozoho and Samuel Chukwueze permission to join their teammates in camp on the same date, following pleas by their respective clubs, Omonia Nicosia and AC Milan, to feature them in League and Coppa Italia games. The Super Eagles are expected to spend 1 week in Abu Dhabi before departing for Cote d'Ivoire on Wednesday, January 10th. Now, the current all-time highest goal scorer in the Nigerian Premier Football League, Mfon Odo, has again stated his desire to see his 23-goal record, which he set in 2014, broken this season. Odo won the NPFL Golden Boot and cemented his name in the history of the league with an unprecedented 23-goal while playing for Inyemba, smashing Jude Anek's 20-goal record. 10 years after setting the record, he believes the current leading scorers in the league this season might be able to set a new record. Remo Stars striker Sikiru Alime has scored 11 goals this season in 16 games, while Bayelsa United forward Robert Mizu, who has been running a neck-and-neck race with Alime, is also on 10 goals. Breathing down the neck of both players is Plateau United's Albert Hilary with 7 goals. Although who currently plays for a Bangladesh Premier League side, Bashundhara Kings recently reflected on his record-breaking season while featuring on a podcast. And with that, we have come to the end of Trust News Hour. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I am Abdurrahman Omar. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
From the Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.